Look, I know it's a little bit twatty to do a review with sunnies on, but the sun is literally like, well, it's not there, but it's reflected in the window of the cinema. So my sunglasses on. Plus, my sunglasses are pretty cool. Although, I do need to remember to stop walking into cinema screens with them in my hand if I've had them on as I've walked into the building. Obviously take them off as soon as I get inside the cinema, because I don't wear sunglasses indoors because I'm not a knob. But then sometimes when I walk into the actual screen, I've still got them in my hand and I forget that they glow in the dark. So anyway, that's 40 seconds just talking about my sunglasses. I've just been to see A Quiet Place day one, and my overarching feeling is I don't really know why it exists. It's perfectly fine, but like, why did they make it? The original was 2018. I didn't see it in the cinema. I kind of wish I had, because I think it would have been a really great cinema experience. The second one I saw in the cinema, in and around COVID, I remember it being quite a fun cinema experience, the second one, because the films do make the audiences really quiet, which in this day and age is a blessing, because audiences as a general rule are noisy and disrespectful, or a lot of them are. So yeah, it was quite good fun. I went to see it with my friend Naomi, the second one, and it was, you know, a back in the cinemas moment in between the pandemic, and she's not great with scary films, so I quite enjoyed her being an absolute basket case, and I probably jumped out my skin a few times, but I quite enjoyed that. She doesn't. So the two of them as a thing, you know, are interesting, are original-ish. First one was written and directed by John Krasinski. Second one the same, I think, but I haven't checked. And this one has a different director, but John Krasinski co-wrote it again. This is a prequel. So in the first film, we saw real-life husband and wife John Krasinski and Emily Blunt and their on-screen children as a family in a world where these aliens were everywhere and you can't make a noise. And then the second one was the continuation of that family story, but we also got a flashback that showed what happened like the day they arrived. And this, as you can probably guess from the title, is like day one of the invasion in New York. So we meet Sam, played by Lupita Nyong'o, who is so inherently watchable that I let the film off. Her and the other main lead, Joseph Quinn, who I also really like. So they're really watchable and kind of incapable of bad performances. So having those two in the centre kind of made me stick with it. But Sam is dying. She's in a hospice at the start of the film, just outside sort of Manhattan, and they go into the city, into central Manhattan to go to the theatre. She takes a support cat, Frodo, with her, and it's supposed to be like just a little jaunt into the city, and that's when the invasion starts. And of course they have no idea what's happening. Nobody says it, but obviously your first thought is going to be terror attack, and there's dust everywhere and debris. And when she comes to from sort of being knocked unconscious, it's then a matter of they're in the theatre, the guy from the hospice is there, they're trying to keep everybody quiet because they've figured out quite quickly, I thought I was going to yawn, they figured out quite quickly that the aliens are blind. I think they're blind, but they respond to sound. They hear everything, and if they can hear you, they can eat you. And they're very scary things. The way the head opens up kind of reminds me a bit of, it gives me both, what's it called? The End of the World game thing that became a TV show with Pedro Pascal and I can't think of it. I want to keep wanting to say This Is Us, and it's not that. The Last of Us. Was it called The Last of Us? It might have been. It reminds me both of them and of Demi Gorgons from Stranger Things, which of course then connects to Joseph Quinn because he played Eddie in the most recent series of Stranger Things. So yeah, they're blind but can hear really well, so they've kind of figured that out. So she, because she's dying, decides that she wants to go to Harlem to get pizza, and she decided this is what she was going to do. And then along the way she meets Eric, played by Joseph Quinn, and he is playing a British character. He's a British guy. He is kind of a bit lost. She asks him where his family are. He says in Kent, in England. And even though she is urging him to go to the docks where there are boats leaving, because again they figured out that the creatures can't go in water or don't like water, he decides to follow her. And that's it. And it's those two characters and Frodo the cat. And I think I was probably supposed to care about the cat, but I kind of didn't, because it's a cat and I'm not a cat person. Not that I wanted harm to come to the cat, but I wasn't asked. If it had been a dog, I would have been more invested. Lupita Nyong'o has an incredible face. It's so expressive, and it's used to great effect. Excuse me. Earlier on in the film, when stuff is happening and it's scary and the creatures are in the theatre, she's so wide-eyed and her face is covered in dust and all you can see is just the whites of her eyes, and she's just got such an incredible face. So she's really good. Joseph Quinn's really good. It's just, why make it? Why bother? There was nothing new in it apart from we were watching the creatures in a city setting, whereas previously we'd only seen them in like rural America, middle America sort of thing. That was it. That was the only difference. So yeah, I feel like I checked out quite early, because I was like, don't really care. Seen it, aliens, clicky click, noisy noise, don't breathe. You know, somebody's going to slam a car door and boom, there's going to be an alien there and they're going to get munched up and whisked off. So yeah, absolutely fine. There was nothing wrong with the film. I just don't know why they bothered. It feels quite grumpy, but here we are. Still managed to talk for 7 minutes on something I wasn't that arsed about, but yeah, that's me done. Sun's gone in now, so I'll take my sunglasses off. Yeah, so that was that. That was a Quiet Place Day 1. It was short. It's only like an hour and 40, which by today's standards is pretty short. So yeah, that's that done and dusted really. And on to the next one. Until next time, kids, Katie out.